Imagine you walk into your office 3 to 4 months from now, and you just feel fired up, ready to go, in love with ministry, energized for the work ahead. My question to you is, what would you have been doing for 3 to 4 months prior to that if you had time and resources to be able to pursue the particular activities that make your heart sing?
I knew I needed a break. I was personally being drained, and I didn't want to burn out. So the Lilly Sabbatical grant came along right on time for me. It was refreshing not only for me and my family, but also for the church, because the gift allows you to give so many dollars to the church so that they can be renewed and see what it's like to discover and explore ways of doing ministry without the pastor actually being there, so that they learn that this process called the church doesn't just have to surround the pastor, but it surrounds the whole body of Christ within that local church.
On my own journey, though, I could never have known how powerful this event would be, and just drawing my family closer together, helped me to reconnect with my kids. I mean, we got a chance to go away from the hustle and bustle of life and meetings and sporting events and all those things, and just to be a family, traveling abroad in a different place. And one of the things we had to do right away was rely on each other, and that was really powerful. You know, in addition to that, the chance for me then personally to engage in some things I got to engage in with related to C.S. Lewis, staying at the Kilns, and meeting with scholars, C.S. Lewis scholars from around the world and individuals. That was really powerful for just me personally.
So the first one I had was one where we took 6 months in 2000. We went to India for 2 months. We came back. We drove out to the Ghost Ranch in New Mexico, and we lived there for 3 months. And then we drove home really slowly for a month. I went on the first one because I wanted to go to see someplace, and this was why India, where people really had nothing, because I've always worked and lived in low-income communities, and I thought seeing where people really have nothing and are able to do something about it would be encouraging and inspiring, and it was. I visited with the Grameen Bank folks in India and Bangladesh, and I remember we had been doing micro lending there, like had started in Bangladesh with the Grameen Bank. And as I was visiting with the folks there and seeing what was going on in there in India, I said, oh, this makes perfect sense here. There's just people who need to make $1 a day just to survive that haven't been doing that. This makes perfect sense here. So what makes perfect sense where I am? And it stirred my imagination.
One of the first considerations a congregation might make in deciding as to whether to pursue a clergy renewal grant would be to ask themselves, how have we tangibly shown our love for our pastor? So I would ask them to examine their love, their outward love, their outstretched love for their pastor, and say, is this something that we can do? Get beyond the fear of what will we do without our pastor, and really look at where faith is leading them in loving their pastor. So I would say that. I would say start there. Start with the heart.
The impact of both leaves has been positive for me and for the congregation. For me, it's been renewal, rest, refreshment, getting a new perspective on ministry, getting excited about new areas of ministry. And then the congregation, of course, feeds off that. They pick up on that. When I came back from Africa in 2010, in Ethiopia and Kenya, the congregation got involved in a hunger program that I visited in Kenya, and we've since sent mission teams there and have helped with funding, and so it's become really something the congregation feels ownership of, and that's been great.
Pastors walk with people through some of the most intense moments of their lives, both joyful and sorrowful. Pastoral ministry depends upon a deep sense of rootedness and connectedness in that which gives life. And so we believe that these renewal leaves, to the extent that they allow pastors to reconnect with what it is that God puts into their lives in order to keep them spiritually vital and alive, that kind of connection fuels excellence in shared ministry between pastors and congregations.
So this is, for many pastors and congregations, once or maybe twice in a lifetime opportunity. And I encourage pastors and congregations to think about it in those terms. So if a congregation can apply for up to $50,000, and there are ways that you can account for that level of funding, then go for it.